will.
Yeah,
Sound.
but start streaming, and yes, wait for Facebook to get it.
Yay.
Connecting live video, and
Hello.
that's us on. You ready to go?
Yep, indeed I am.
And it's going.
Class.
This is where everything craps up and
Right.
just stops working.
Yeah, that would be about what I would expect.
And we're
But we
live.
seem to be. Are we? Yes. Excellent.
Hello, everybody.
How's it going?
I'm gonna get it up here on my phone so I can see comments and stuff properly.
Yeah, I was clicking on as well to see can I do that also.
So yeah, we're gonna maybe wait for one or two people to join.
Yeah, wait for a couple of people just so we're not talking to yourselves like
Yeah.
normal.
Oh,
I got a
there's
wee sip of
three
the
people.
tea. Oh,
Well, anyway, basically, so this is gonna be a bit of a stream. Me and Graham just talking about what we're doing during lockdown and doing to keep ourselves sane. And yeah, we're just going to talk about what we've been up to and take a few questions and stuff like that. Shan McGuckin already going mad with the thumbs up.
class.
Um, she can ask a question next.
Save those for the Q&A, please.
Yeah, just if anyone wants to let us know if you can hear me and Graham both
Yeah.
okay, because that would be swell.
Oh yeah, it'd be handy for a conversation if we could hear us both. To be fair, like,
It
be a
would,
bit.
yeah. So anyway, we've been in lockdown. Well, me and you have been in lockdown since what, about 7 weeks now? Is it?
Yeah, it's coming up on 2 months in about a week.
Ah, that's crazy, man.
It's a bit mental.
I think what the last time was, we had a gig in the Burnavon Theatre.
Yes, that would have been. Well, that would have been the last gig, wouldn't it? Or no, it
Yeah.
was we played a gig in Dorman's Bar on the Saturday.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. That was just crazy. It just felt like everyone get away from me, please.
Yeah, it felt like the I don't know, like the final boss level of game or something. I was just surrounded by people. I was looking at them all, going, "It could be any one of you," you know.
And it probably was some of those people, you know, God knows what they had, like, and maybe
Or
not
the
just the coronavirus. But
oh, the
yeah,
point is we
anyway,
made it out.
yeah, it has been a while now.
Yeah.
Well, what have you been up to in the past
Uh,
few weeks?
like
Because I actually haven't even
of
spoke to you that much, really. Been
yeah,
watching
we've
you
chatted
live
once
all
or
the time.
twice. Yeah, that's right. I've been doing a lot of live streams. Well, a lot. I do about one a week because any more than that, and they'd start to like drain my energy a little bit, which
Yeah.
I guess we'll touch on later on. I've been doing a lot of running, like more running than I would normally. A lot of exercise to
Uh-huh.
sort of keep my head kind of straight, and playing a lot of games on my Xbox 360, which I dug out of my cupboard
Xbox
for the first
360,
time.
that's amazing.
Yeah, man, I looked at the thing on my account and it told me I hadn't actually done any played any games since 2013 or 14. Sorry, 2014.
That's class.
So yeah, been semi doing a lot of recording as well on my own, which I haven't done in quite a long time because I felt like I never had the time, and now I've got it in abundance.
Yeah,
So,
same as
what about
most of
you?
us.
What have you been up to? What's
Well, I kind of took a bit of time to set up sort of a my home recording setup. Just took
yeah?
most of the stuff from the studio that I could anyway on one file sweep going out and got it set up so I can actually do a bit of mixing and recording stuff at home, uh, which is good crack. Um, but apart from that, like once again, I have a load of games that I've collected and never played, or that have been given to me to play, and I've literally just not even looked at.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah, spend a bit of time catching up on them. Um, also started running. May not look it, but I'll get there. Started that couch to 5K thing, which was something I was kind of telling myself I'd do for a long time, and was just putting it off. And I just decided, yeah, may as well give it a go. Like,
You're
uh,
rightly far into it now as well, aren't you? You're like on like week 6 or something.
I finished week 6 last night.
Yes,
Uh,
that's right. The 25-minute run, wasn't it?
25-minute run. Yeah. So I finished
Happy
that,
days.
and I am starting into my week 7, which is all 25-minute runs, then 28, then 30, and then I'll be done, which is going to be crazy. But this, things like that I never, that I wanted to, but always made excuses for, but now I have no excuse, so I decided to do it.
Yeah,
And it is, oh, it's fun. I enjoy it.
it's really good for like your. Well, I think it is. I think it's really important to like do some sort of exercise anyway, especially now, but like in general for your mental health.
Yeah, definitely going out and doing something like running for your mental well-being is a big thing. Even if it is just going out for a walk, your one walk a day. Uh,
Yeah,
you know, you should be doing it even just to even sitting out in your backyard getting a bit of sun a day like that,
yeah,
as you can see us closed into the house. But anyway,
yeah. It's all good. Like as long as you get moving, you know,
yeah,
like especially now because like for the majority of the time you're just planted, just in your house.
yeah, I know. Kevin McGuckin is watching.
Class, happy
Not that we didn't
days.
get a notification about that before, but thank you for clarifying.
Well, now we know.
Now we know.
But
Yeah, I think going out and even just even doing things like getting up early and well as early as you can make yourself get up and
yeah,
getting dressed, like sitting in the house all day in like pajamas or something like that, kind of puts you in that mood of there's nothing to do, there's nothing to be at.
yeah.
Even just getting
And
up,
look, I mean,
moving.
like, yeah,
Oh,
nothing. Go downstairs because it's not a particularly awesome time. I think you've frozen. Have
oh,
you frozen?
we dropped out a wee bit there, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are we
Sorry.
back?
Yeah, we're back on.
Woo!
What were you
Yeah,
saying?
no, I was sort of just banging on about how like it's cool to be like get up early and like get dressed and start being productive like straight off the bat, or else you're gonna sit down all day, and that's cool, and that's something that I always think that people should strive for. But
Yeah.
also,
No.
you're probably gonna have days where that's not gonna really be maybe
Yeah, 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 yeah.
possible, or you're just not gonna have the mental energy for it, or
No, and that's
something
okay.
like that. And that's grand. Like, I mean, there's this wild thing going on at the minute. I'm seeing a lot of people go on about how, like, oh, if you're not using this time to be as productive as possible,
Why?
and like, mate, that's not a healthy mindset. I don't think, really.
No, it's not. You know, if you are sitting there saying I have no time to do this and I have no time to do that, then you are wrong. You do have the time.
Yeah,
But if you're, you don't need to use this time to be productive. You don't need to use this time. It is a stressful time, and if you don't feel that you're up for doing that, don't.
yeah,
You shouldn't
exactly.
be forced into it.
Not at all. But if you were to do some productive stuff, what have you been? I know I've been trying to instill a couple of habits that have helped me be a bit more productive. But what about you? Have you had any sort of tricks up
Uh,
your sleeve to keep you on the kind of train of like getting stuff done, or do you just kind of get up and do it? Or
well, as my entire house could tell you, and I'm afraid to say this in case they all just start messaging into this to slag me off, but I've been setting alarms to get me up in the morning because I fell into the routine of staying up all night and sleeping all day, and that's just
yeah, yeah,
because I had nothing to do during the day. So I'm
yeah,
trying to fix that by setting alarms and trying to get myself back into a routine by waking myself up early. Uh, that is something that would work for me to get up early and get to things. Like in the minute with the exercise and stuff, I'm kind of doing that later on in the night. And look, there's my mind laughing already. Um, getting up and doing stuff, but the exercise now I'm kind of doing it at night at the moment,
Yeah.
and round about 8, 9 o'clock, which is a habit I just sort of fell into. But I'm trying to turn that round so I get up, and that would be the first thing I do in the day. So then I have that out of the way and have the whole
Yeah.
day to do other things instead of sitting down and being like, "Oh, I've got this run to do later on, 5K to
Yeah.
do later on, stuff like that." Just other things of, like I do have a bit of work to do, mixing and stuff like that, and a few videos to edit, and I think it's just kind of spacing it out properly so
Yeah.
that I'm not just sitting down doing it all in one day and then having nothing to do for the rest of the day. Just like spacing out, sitting down for a few hours, getting bits and pieces done each day,
Yeah.
and trying to work into a routine of I get up, I get my tea, whatever, maybe sit down and do bits of work, and then take a break, go back and do bits of work, and then go after that, sit down for dinner, and then that's me sort of chilling out for the rest of the day. Trying to
Yeah.
just
That's
put myself into a routine.
yeah. That actually sounds really good. I like the fact that you've built in time to like chill out
Yeah,
into
well,
that sort of schedule.
you need it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can't just go like there is a temptation though. I know I have it anyway. Where like if I've got like work to do, I have this thing where like I'll want to get up and just go, 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 go until
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
done. It's those old habits of like back in the before times.
The before times.
Back before all this happened, I had like very little time sometimes to do stuff, and I used to really like working under pressure, or at least I had no choice anyway. And I
Yeah,
would have went flat at it until it was done. And I've still kind of got that attitude because you don't unlearn habits in a couple of months.
yeah, of
Like,
course.
but yeah, no, Belton, like you said, Belton in designated rest periods, or at least making sure that you take time to
Yeah,
chill out a bit
and
between periods of work.
even if that is in the morning, get up and just, if it is just lying in your bed or watching TV in your room or something like that, it's still
Yeah,
chill out period.
yeah,
And a lot of people, like, this is a stressful time for a lot of people, financially, your health, everything. You know, you need to you need to be chilled out during this. And
yeah,
here's a good example of John McVitie. John McVitie is your guy from Cookstown Rock and Blues, who had quite a lot of gigs planned out before this happened. And now to chill out, John McVitie is sitting chilling with beers, watching me and you. That's what better to be at.
yeah. Why not, man?
But it's building that sort of time into your day to chill out and not
Yeah,
have to think about what's going on, even if that's spend time with your family or whatever it is, sitting down and having dinner, drinking tea, whatever it is.
yeah.
Knowing from personal experience, I drink a lot of tea.
Yeah, it's impressive how
I
much tea you can drink. Actually, to be
I
fair,
miss expensive coffee. I've saved
man,
like loads of money, like, but
I literally had to like order coffee online
what?
to like get to make it happen. I had to order coffee grounds online so that I could make my own coffee in my annoying douchey hipster fancy coffee apparatus because I just was like was drinking instant coffee and it just every little bit of my soul every day withered away. Like
I can't do
I
it.
couldn't do it.
Can't do
Nah,
it.
it's absolute. It's rotten. Once you've tasted the golden elixir of coffee that other people have made, you just can't. You can't go back to it. Like, but
There's
yeah, I mean,
Eileen McGuckin saying, "Remember the key worker." That's my mum, who is a key worker, and the only person who actually leaves our house. Praise the key workers.
yeah, I think we should acknowledge that like there are a lot of people that are do not get the luxury of doing what we're doing and
Yeah,
having to worry about how to keep yourself sane staying in the house all day because
exactly.
they don't
Yeah,
have the luxury of being able to do that. So
go on, ma, and the rest of the key workers.
yeah, you mentioned about a couple of minutes ago about people stressing about financial stuff. It's a pretty big worry, but there are certain bits and pieces, and I think we should probably keep it sort of relatively close to the creatives and musician side of things, just so we don't have to
Yeah.
talk all day about the many different types of funding and grants there are. But there are quite a lot of, or at least two or three types of grants and funding opportunities that have been available, are still available,
Yes,
that we
we have attached. I know this is obviously, since we're talking about the financial side of things, it's a difficult time for everyone. A lot of musicians and stuff like that are out of work. But we have attached a link below to donate to Help Musicians. Help Musicians are a fantastic charity organisation, and they have a branch here in Northern Ireland. But they put together a lot of support for people during this time, and they have personally helped myself, and I know they've helped you out as well, Graham, during this time.
yeah
Um, because we had thousands of pounds of work planned out for months, and that's
yeah
just disappeared in just out of the blue.
yeah
Uh, so I know that that fund has now closed. So it has. But they will be announcing something similar
yeah
very soon. But even on their website, they have a lot of good support and good stuff to sort of direct you in a good place for other funding opportunities and other support for musicians and people in the industry that have been left without work. There is other, if you're part of PRS, they have stuff as well, as far as
yeah
I'm aware.
yeah. They've got a hardship fund.
The Arts Council have just opened one of their grants as well.
Yeah
As well as that, I think there are, you know, it, it's a weird thing to be saying, but if you're really in that sort of hard time and you have a lot of overheads and a lot of stuff going on that you need money, there is other things like uh, loans for musicians and stuff like that. Kind of weird time saying to someone, take out a loan,
yeah
but it is there for things like that. Um, and there is also, we won't touch on everything, but there is other things there for business owners and stuff like that. Rates relief funds and other bits and pieces that you can look into and apply for. And if you happen to be one of those musicians that, and I will urge everyone who is a musician, if you haven't already, uh, signed up and to be self-employed with HMRC and stuff like that. Yeah, obviously you'll have to pay tax if you make a certain amount of money, but the benefits are there. You know,
yeah
People that are at that stage and they are lucky enough to be making a large portion of their income that way, they will be able to apply for 80% of. Yes, we won't get it till June, but you'll still be able to apply and get a lump sum of 80% of all the wages you've missed out on over the past 2 months or so. And I think
yeah
it'll include June as well. But correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, we'll maybe get a few links fired into the comments and stuff like that
yeah
here. But there is a lot of stuff out there if you take a look, and honestly, a lot of it has helped a lot of people out. But definitely a big shout out to Help Musicians who are doing quite a lot at the moment.
absolutely.
I'm just gonna. You can rant away there while I pull in some links here.
um yeah, so if you want to be a bit more proactive when it comes to finance, this is like the season of the side gigs at the minute. Like Oren
Yes.
said, I've been doing some live streams a lot. Like, I don't know a musician at the minute that I can think of that was gigging before that isn't trying out live streams now. They seem to be the big kind of the most popular way people are trying to make a bit of extra money, doing wee live streams, sticking up a donation link or a link to PayPal or Coffee or whatever their chosen kind of donation
Yeah. Uh,
thing is. A lot of people have been doing private Zoom gigs, which I find really interesting. They're definitely not for me. Not a big fan of that kind of vibe, but
it's interesting to think about.
Yeah,
You know,
very interesting because it takes back that kind of it takes back that kind of like that kind of feeling of being in the room with people. It brings that back. Live streams can be very faceless, obviously, because you
yes,
can literally can't see anyone. I mean, maybe they can comment and stuff, but you don't get to see them, and they don't get to see how they're reacting. You don't get to really have a chat with them, really. So
yeah,
the Zoom gigs kind of are some sort of a replacement for that, at least.
yes. Like it's an interesting sort of setup. You know, sitting there on Zoom like us at the moment, and
Yeah,
it's a very small screen, and you could maybe have like 20 people or something if it's
yeah,
if it's a big household. Well, I hope there's not 20 people jammed in one house, like, but if you can imagine this like slowly coming in uh, till normality, and people are still trying to isolate, and we're still not having gigs and bars, and
yeah,
there's maybe like people at a little party at someone's house, 10, 20 people, and you doing that, it would be a very weird setup altogether. Just on that, John McVitie just wrote in there, the Cookstown Rock and Blues showcase, they're still they had a load of gigs that got cancelled, and they've now started streaming their gigs live on Facebook. I think they have already done three. They've one tonight
yeah.
with Busker Man, Darrell Quinn. That's the fourth one. I'm not actually too sure when it is, what time, but it's tonight anyway. I get up here. They're going live at 9 o'clock.
Nice one.
Uh, so there's things like that still happening, and the likes of John and stuff. They'll obviously put their like a PayPal link for tips, your tip jar and stuff, and
Yeah,
that some of that money will go to the musician, obviously, and that is one instance of the way people are going to try and make some money still during stuff like this.
yeah,
Especially for musicians, it's very hard because, yeah, John 9, we've seen that.
no,
So it is very hard because the big part of the job is going out there and actually, you know, you're being face to face with quite a lot of people and entertaining people,
yeah.
and it's a very hard thing to do over Facebook.
Yeah, it can be difficult. It doesn't for some people seem to find it very easy. I know for me it can be difficult because I tend to it makes me sound like a massive hippie, but I tend to feed off the literal energy in the room, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like with there being people there, like it,
yeah,
I can feel that atmosphere, or at least I think I can anyway.
uh
Whether it's all in my head or not. But whenever I'm just looking at them on a screen or I can just see their names popping up or whatever, it's not exactly the same,
okay, yeah. It's
but
I've
it
obviously
is similar, you know.
I've never done something like that before. Not really. Wouldn't call myself much of a musician, but even sitting here
Right.
and knowing that people are watching, yeah, it's kind of cool, yeah. So I can
Yeah, it's
understand
kind of
how
awesome.
you do get you kind of I don't know how to describe it. Just get that like weird sort of energy that you get at a gig over a
Yeah,
live stream.
yeah,
Uh, Apart from that, there's not really too much going on for you're still making your money. I see actually Facebook are bringing in it's not a new system, but they'll be bringing it in for musicians and stuff like that. It was mainly a thing for other people that did live streams, like comedians and stuff like that, where Facebook will have its own version of the PayPal tip jar. So
oh,
when you like
okay.
hit on for like send reactions, thumbs up, hearts, and all that kind of stuff, instead of that, it's gonna be like a donation type thing, and you can
Okay.
I think it's called like a coin system or something. So like, 1 coin equals £1 or something like that, and you send the coins to the musician, and that
Hmm.
translates to money for them, or they can withdraw it or some way or another,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, which is quite cool.
That's pretty awesome, actually. It reminds me of Twitch, I think. This is a
Yes,
similar
yeah.
sort of system.
Uh-huh. And I actually do see some musicians going to Twitch for their live streams because of that
Yeah,
fact that you can actually,
yeah,
you know, pay for. pay them for playing.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to on Twitch for people to actually do that, because if you want to do that like on a Facebook stream, like if you don't, especially if you don't like have a PayPal, you have to
Yeah,
like click on the link and then you make
yeah,
a PayPal and put your card in just so you can give someone like a quid or 5 quid or whatever it
yeah,
is
or
that you're.
have you end up having to use like your partner's PayPal or someone else in your
Yeah,
house's PayPal or something like that. Especially like
yeah,
the older people, the older generation that still gig. They're obviously what they called. They're obviously in that position where they don't understand quite a lot of it, so they do have to get someone else to help them, especially with the whole live streaming, etc.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it is a very interesting thing to see because people are adapting very quickly to the changes.
yeah,
Obviously, this happened very fast, and it was, yes, we knew it was happening, and people were starting to take precautions and stuff like that. But then, like in the matter of like a day, everything had changed. We went into lockdown, stuff like that. So it, people seem to be adapting quite well to it. Musicians, you know, fairly quickly went to their live streaming and stuff like that,
yeah.
figuring out the whole tip jar and doing things like that. There was an artist on YouTube. I cannot remember her name for the life of me, but uh, she basically started off where she wanted to put on obviously good quality gigs for people. So she started off doing a big stream where she charged everyone £1 for the stream to get into it. It
Uh
was a
huh.
private stream, and you paid £1 to get in. And then after that, she used all that money to and put it into the next stream to buy better equipment. She should buy better,
Okay.
bought better audio equipment, a good camera,
Yeah.
and then same thing, but instead she charged everyone £2 in to the stream,
Okay. Yeah.
and
Sure.
then used that money again to buy more equipment. So now she's doing like multi-camera setup with like her boyfriend or something or whoever it is, manning the camera and switching camera angles during the live stream and stuff like that.
Uh huh.
And it is just quite cool to see how people have actually adapted and
Yeah.
made the best of a bad situation, basically.
Yeah. We've always been the music scene in Northern Ireland, and indeed, actually, the whole world has always been quite resilient when it
Yeah,
comes to
yeah.
change. A very adaptable kind of industry, like,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's awesome to
definitely.
see. What about
So,
session work? It's something I wanted to touch on a little bit, just
uh,
briefly, when it
yeah.
comes to making a bit of money. I
Well,
recently
yeah,
rejoined
you've
Fiverr.
yes, that's what I was going to say. You recently mentioned to me about Fiverr, and I have went on and made an account myself just yesterday.
Yeah.
Uh,
And what did you set it up for? Is it bass or
I
you
set it up
mixing?
for uh, mixing, mastering, and also for session based work.
Mm,
And
nice one.
yeah, it is quite a cool platform. Obviously, you don't pay for it, and you basically just set up your service of what you're offering, and basically people. It's as simple as that. People find your ads and pay you to do that service. You can set like different levels of that service. You could.
Yeah.
For me, I set up for like here's a price for one track, then here's a price for an EP, and then here's a price for an album kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then within that, you can you know at the minute we're doing obviously a lower price for because quite a lot of people are sending tracks recorded at home, so and I'm doing everything at home, so it's not really right to charge people big money for mixing a track. So
Yeah.
doing it at a very little price and stuff like that because I'm working at a home studio and stuff like that. And now I just set up yesterday, so I obviously haven't got any movement on it. Fingers crossed. But I see a lot of people starting to do session work putting up on Facebook and stuff like that, saying they're recording a song at home, but they need a fiddle player. So, is there any fiddle players out there with equipment to record at home? And it could be someone sitting there with their MacBook or laptop with a one-channel interface, and that's all they need. And
Yeah, that's all you need.
yeah, but it is quite a good way to make money in this kind of situation.
Yeah, and it's also another skill as well. If you're used to playing live, if you've always been a
Yeah,
live musician,
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's another string to your bow, sort of. I guess like another thing to add to your kind of like your CV or your portfolio.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
Especially if the industry changes quite a lot. After all this, like live gigs might not be as plentiful as they were before, and having that kind of experience definitely won't hurt in any way.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm not saying that it's well. I'd say we probably will be looking at a very different society after all this happens, because I hope people will see, yeah, just see obviously the mistakes and stuff that sort of we have made, but without going too deep into that, in the music industry, it will show a lot of people that there is a lot more avenues to go down to make money.
Yeah,
There's a lot more things you can do to fund yourself when you're not out gigging,
yeah,
because no, I probably will say the gigs probably will. There will probably be a lot of gigs happening when they're allowed to,
yeah,
which is good. Um, there's a lot of people in like the wedding scene and stuff that'll obviously have a lot going on because so many weddings have been cancelled.
yeah,
Uh, so that's obviously going to be good, but uh, gigging is quite it's all done at night time. It's all you know if that's all you do, if you're just a gigging musician and do nothing else, you have a big portion of your day and your week and stuff like that you're doing nothing. So it'll show
yeah.
people that there are other avenues to venture into.
Absolutely. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to yammer on about. What about you? Have we missed anything out, or
No, I don't think so. I think we had a good old yarn there.
had a good early yarn?
Um, Now I don't know if there's too many people watching, but if anyone has any questions at all, there do fire them in. Um, Hopefully no one in my house asks me to make tea or something like that. But if they're offering tea, I'll take a cup of tea.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, it is to go back to it and just sort of wrap everything up. There, uh, there's a lot going on. Don't feel too pressured over the whole thing, because there's no need to be. You know, it's a difficult time. Take your time to chill out and stuff like that.
yeah,
Um, there are opportunities there and people there to help you financially. Um, do get in touch with them, because maybe if you're not eligible for one thing, they can point you in the right direction and stuff like that. So don't stress too much about the whole thing. Um, and yeah, just if you are one of those people that wants to sort of keep occupied during it, and do live streams and do other things like that, do it. And I definitely do think that you should, if you are gonna do live streams and stuff like that, you know, definitely put your tip box in whatever you're doing it on. You know, make a few pound if it's even if it's as you say a cup of coffee. You know, it's a cup of
yeah,
coffee you didn't have, like, especially if that is your full time income, you're not gonna be making a lot of money from it. So you know, you're you're better taking what you can get. If it is just on a live stream, few
yeah,
pound, like, and yeah, and obviously if you or if the live stream thing's going well, don't be afraid to put that £10 or £15 that you got from it into maybe better in your live stream to continue it on,
Yeah,
because yes, I know people are saying that there's going to be announcements and stuff like that made fairly soon, but I'd say the gigging scene is still, you know, quite a lot of stuff going on. The music scene is a little far off, so
yeah,
do take the time to, you know, it's the same as practicing and bettering your craft. Take the time to sit down and get it right and stuff like that. But apart from that, I think I've touched on everything that I wanted to touch on. Um,
yeah.
and at the moment, I haven't committed any murders yet. So, um, yeah. Well, not yet. I am at the moment living in a house with one, two, five other people.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So there's six of us in the house altogether, and my sister Erin is about to have a child in like 2 weeks. All going well. That'll be a big whopping seven. and
7 people in one house, mate.
and one of them is going to be a crying baby. But it'll be great.
Hooray!
The
Happy
miracle of
days.
birth.
The miracle of life will
and
be
then
upon your household.
and then her obviously her partner will be coming to see the child. He'll have to do all his isolation crack before and all that kind of stuff before he's allowed in the house. But yeah, so then he'll have to be isolating in the house with us, and then we have a further when the baby comes home, we have another 2 weeks to isolate after that. So no one allowed in or out of the house, which is going to be fun. Well,
That's
you could
yeah.
count,
It
so that'll
sounds
be eight, and then you technically counted
yeah. It's
nine because we've got a dog too.
yeah. That's nine living things in your house. Like
Yeah, so I'm having
that's
fun,
yeah. Of course you are.
but
Why wouldn't you? It's a great time.
it's
The more
great.
people around you, the better. I mean,
Yeah, well,
cram them
yeah.
all in there.
Well, that's my sort of take on it. Is I like to have people around me. I do like to
Yeah,
have my quiet time, but I'm someone that likes to, sit down in the living room with a few people, and no one's talking, just watching TV and having a bit of crack. Like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, I'm not finding this too bad at the moment. Was at the start, but not now.
Yeah.
But I do miss it. I do miss having, going and doing guitar repairs. I miss that. I miss being able to go to the studio, stuff like that. But we'll get there, and we will survive.
That we will.
So on that, then I think that's us.
Yeah, I think that's us.
No questions in there anyway.
Nah.
Uh, but if anyone has anything they want to ask us, give us a shout on Facebook or whatever means are necessary to get in touch with us. Just don't come into my house or throw stones at my window at nighttime.
But it's totally fine during the daytime.
Oh yeah, during the daytime that's 100%. As long as I'm
Fire
not,
all the stones you want,
as
like.
long as I'm not asleep. But yeah, guys, thanks very much for tuning in. It's been fun, and we will probably be back with something similar again. I'll
Yeah,
be going live on Tuesday again to do
Tuesday.
a mix rundown of a Super Soaker track. That's a band that Graham's in with a few other guys whose names I don't know. It's a band Graham's in with William and Kyle, and they just released a single that was recorded in the studio, and we're going to do a mixed rundown of it on Tuesday and talk all the lovely stuff about that. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.